Hi everyone, Blake Hero here, and today I'm coming at you guys with a new video. Today I wanted to show you guys some of the post-Suda hero combos in a shorter video format with using the physical TCG cards. So I won't waste any of you guys' time, we'll just get right into it. And in the first combo, I want to show one of the main reasons why Dangerous is no longer needed in the extra deck, and that's going to be with the 1-card Vion combo. Now, of course, it's not going to be actually a 1-card combo. You're going to need any blank discard, which I'm going to use Fuwalas for. When you're doing the math, it's still a 1-card combo, but you do need a blank discard. So we'll just start with normal summoning out Vion, and then Vion's effect will activate. This will dump Shadow Mist, and then Shadow Mist effect will activate, which will search us a hero monster, which will add a dusted gold. It's important to not use Vion to banish Shadow Mist here immediately, even though you might want to, because that's what we did before. It's important to not do that yet, because Shadow Mist will be the non-light elemental hero monster that we use later. We can then use a dusted gold's effect, discarding himself, to add Evil Assault. Now we can use Vion's effect, which can banish the Adusted Gold, to add Polymerization from our deck to our hand. Now before, one of the main problems with the combo was the fact that we had to banish the Shadow Mist from grave, which let us not actually do everything, because Shadow Mist is going to be our non-light elemental hero that we use for Infernal Rage later. So it's very important that you banish Adusted and not Shadow Mist. Next we'll use Evil Assault, which will pitch the blank discard to summon a evil hero monster from our deck. This will be the Dead End Prism, and his effect will dump Malicious for cost. Here, what we can do is it's important not to link these two monsters off just yet, because if you link these two off, you'll be missing the warrior monster for later. So first, we're just gonna go Malicious to summon out a copy. And here, what we'll do is we'll link these two off into Infernal Devicer. We'll activate Infernal Devicer's effect, which will reveal either the Neos Lord or the Neos Wingman, which will search Neos. So it's important to do it in that order first, because if you've seen my video on how to play around Nib, we have the Neos and the Malicious, and you can see why that's so important in that video. Next, what we can do is we can banish Malicious to summon out another copy, and we can't just link these two monsters because Cross Crusader, of course, needs 2 warrior monsters. We can summon Cross Crusader to a zone that Infernal Devicer points to, and then we can use Cross Crusader's effect, target the Malicious to summon itself back. Next, we can use Cross Crusader's Ignition effect to tribute off Malicious to now add any hero monster with a different name. This will be Denier here. Next, what we can do is we can activate Polymerization and fuse 2 hero monsters in your hand. It's very important to do that because it plays around Nib so much better. This will be 2 monsters with different attributes to summon out the Sunrise, which will activate Sunrise's effect on summon, which will search us out a Miracle Fusion. Next, we can link these 2 monsters because they have served their purpose to summon out the extra hero Wonder Driver. Next, we can activate Miracle Fusion, which we can banish out the Neos and the Shadow Mist all the way from the beginning of the combo to summon Infernal Rage. Next, we'll activate Infernal Rage's Chainlink 2 and Wonder Driver's Chainlink 1, targeting the Polymerization, of course, because the Wonder Driver is mandatory. So we'll resolve backwards and we'll add the favorite contact, and then we will set the Polymerization. Now, here is a cool little pivot that you can do if, let's say, for example, we had either a dead piece of non-engine because we're going first and Fuwalas doesn't work going first, or we have a dead piece of engine, as in we drew an increase. We can actually convert these dead cards in hand to interruption here. We can then tribute out the Infernal Rage because we used a vanilla monster as material to summon out the Aqua Neos. Now, they're probably going to Nibiru you here, but if not, you can use the Aqua Neos' effect, pitching the Fuwalas, to destroy a random card in your opponent's hand. So this basically converted this dead card that we had in hand into interruption, as in trading with a card in your opponent's hand. If they, for some reason, don't read Aqua Neos, and they didn't Nibiru you before, then they're pressured to Nibiru you here because you have a chance to just hit it right out their hand. If they do Nibiru you and you lose these 3 monsters, you still have Denier live in grave, which we are going to use, but if you summon Denier first, before you summon Aqua Neos, you don't end on DPE if you get Nibiru'd. So it's kind of one of those trades that you have to make that decision. So they're down a card, and then we'll activate Denier's effect. If you activate Denier's effect, you're gonna put Malicious on top of your deck, and then you're gonna draw it for turn. So here, you might not choose to do that if you did the combo in this order. Next, we can Polymerization, fusing these 2 off. into DPE. Next, we can set the trap. And then we have the trap live for our opponent's turn. We can summon the Shiny Neos Wingman or the Neos Lord to the zone that Wonder Driver points to then reset Miracle Fusion for next turn. So we just set this all up with one card in our hand. And even if the cards in your hand are not non-engine and they're dead engine, then you're actually able to still convert those to disruption in your opponent's hand, which is really neat. And you have to think about it when you're going to be doing the one card Vion combo and you don't have another way to play. That is the only two options you can have. You either bricked on non-engine or you bricked on engine that doesn't do anything on its own. So that is the one card Vion combo. Next up, we need to talk about how cool it is now that Stratos is a one card combo, because before, if you opened a hand, for example, like this was actually a brick because Stratos needed specifically a hero discard, but now post Suda, he doesn't. So we'll just show how this hand would be played out. So it's going to be the one card Stratos combo, which will activate his effect, which will search out a Dusted Gold. A Dusted Gold is going to be that bridge that's going to be able to basically get us into the Omni Hero lines using only a blank discard instead of a hero one, which is super, super nice for the deck post Suda. So we use a Dusted Gold's effect, searching Evil Assault, then we'll activate Evil Assault, which will pitch out the dead piece of non-engine in our hand, which will be the Fuwalos, to summon out the Dead End Prison. Next, we'll activate Dead End Prison's Ignition effect, which will dump Malicious, and then we can banish Malicious to summon out a copy from our deck. Now here's something we're going to do a bit differently than the last combo. It's very important that we leave the Dead End Prison on the field for the entirety of the combo until we need another attribute. So we're going to leave him on the board and we're going to link away these two warrior monsters up into Cross, and then Cross will target Malicious to summon itself. Then we'll use Cross Crusader's effect, triggering the Malicious to search out Ferris from our deck. That is the main difference between the one card Stratos combo versus the one card Vion combo, is it does rely on the Ferris line, which means if you are playing the one increase, you couldn't have drawn it. Next, we'll activate Malicious again, and then we can take the Cross and the Malicious and link into Infernal Devicer. Infernal Devicer's effect will activate, which will search out our Neos, and now our Ferris is live. So we can use Ferris' effect by pitching the Neos, activating Ferris' effect, which will place the Increase, and then we can use Increase's effect, triggering off the Ferris to summon out Increase, and then Increase's effect to summon out Vion. Vion's effect will dump Denier, then we can use Vion's effect, we'll banish out the Ferris from our grave to search Polymerization. Next, we can use Polymerization using the Increase and the Dead End Prison, because he's a light monster, up into Sunrise, and Sunrise's effect will search out the Miracle Fusion. Next, we can link up these two monsters into Wonder Driver. Now, if Droplet here was Fuwalos, for example, I would do the line that I did before, in which I would summon Infernal Rage here first, and then go into Aqua Neos. But since this was our hand, I'd actually do it just a little bit differently. What I would do first is I would go Denier's effect, and then we'll go Chainlink 2 Denier, Chainlink 1 Wonder Driver, which will resolve backwards, putting a Malicious on top of our deck, and then setting the Polymerization. Next, I would go Miracle Fusion, banishing the Stratos and the Neos to summon out the Infernal Rage, activating Infernal Rage, which will search us the trap card, and then this way it shuffles your deck because you search Favorite Contact, and that way you don't draw the Malicious for turn and you have one left in deck for follow-up next turn. Then you can go Polymerization, which can fuse the Infernal Rage and the Denier up into Phoenix Enforcer, and then you can set all your Dawn Engine, and then this should be game from there. We have multiple forms of interaction with the non-engine, as well as Favorite Contact summoning the Shiny Neos Wingman next turn, or the Neos Lord, which will trigger the Wonder Driver, giving us more follow-up. We also have a Malicious left in deck, and we have the pops or the takes from what we summon off of Favorite Contact, as well as DPE and non-engine. Because of course, if you're doing a one-card combo, you had to have bricked on something. Next, I want to show what you can do with just a Dusted or Evil Assault, of course, plus any discard. It's going to be very similar to the one-card Vion combo because you're just doing it in a different order. So what we can do is, if we start in Dusted Gold, we can go with Dusted Gold's effect, which will search out the Evil Assault, activate the Evil Assault, pitching to summon out the Prisma Retrain, of course. Then we can activate the Prisma Retrain's effect, which will dump the Shadow Mist, and then Shadow Mist effect will search out the Vion. So we're just doing kind of the same thing we did before. We're just doing it in a little bit of a different order. Next, we can normal summon Vion. Vion's effect will dump Malicious Now, if you started with Evil Assault and not Adusted Gold, you're gonna have to do the combo a little bit differently. The main difference is you can't use Vion's effect yet, which does make it a little bit weaker, but it's not that big of a deal. If you did open Adusted Gold, of course, you just go Vion, banish Adusted Gold to add Poly now, but we'll say that we didn't start with the Adusted Gold and we started with the Evil Assault, just so I can kind of show you how that combo differs. Very simply, you're just gonna banish Malicious, then you're gonna link these two monsters up into Infernal Devicer because, of course, the Prisma is a rock monster, so we can't make cross first. Then we'll activate Effect, which will search the Neos. Now we can use Vion's effect, banishing out the Prisma Retrain to search Poly at this point. Instead, because we still need, if you check our grave, we have Malicious and Shadow Mist, and both of those are very important to keep. So Prisma is the obvious choice. Then we can banish Malicious, summon a copy, link these two up into cross effect, summon out the Malicious, effect the cross, tribute the Malicious, add Denier, and we can do the exact same combo that we did before in the first combo. So next up, that was the 1-card Evil Assault or Adusted Gold combo. Now, if you open Evil Assault or Adusted Gold plus a blank hero discard plus any discard, you can actually do the full combo that we were doing before. This could, of course, be Adusted plus Evil Assault or 2 Adusted. This is why I believe it's so important to max out on Adusted Gold before we decide to play more copies of Evil Assault, because double Evil Assault doesn't do the same combo, of course, as extra copies of Adusted Gold. And I'll show you why in this combo. The only difference you have to make compared to the extra deck that we used to play is you have to play a second copy of a Link monster, but you'll see when we get there. So we can go effective Adusted Gold to add out Evil Assault, and then we can activate Evil Assault, pitching the any card. This will then, of course, summon the Dead End Prison, then Dead End Prison's effect will dump Malicious for cost. Next, we can activate Malicious, and we can summon out a copy. And next, we can take these two monsters, link them off, up into Wonder Driver. So the reason why we're going to do this is because Wonder Driver is a Warrior Link monster that takes any 2 hero monsters. That's how we're going to bridge the Evil Hero cards back into the Vision Hero line. So next, we can go Malicious to summon our last copy from our deck, and then we can link away the Wonder Driver and the Malicious up into Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader's effect will target Malicious, and then we can use Cross Crusader's effect, tribute Malicious to add any hero monster with a different name. This will be Stratos if we're missing it, and then we'll normal summon Stratos, activate effect, which will search Ferris. If you opened a Hero Lives or you opened Stratos already, you can skip this step and just add the Ferris straight up. And that way, if your cross got negated, then you can normal summon the Stratos and add the Ferris and play that way. Basically, what you're doing is you're getting to Cross Crusader without your normal summon, which can eat hand traps, which lets you have more punishes that way now post Suda. So because we didn't have it, we still need to get access to an elemental hero monster with a different attribute than light. So that's why we go to Stratos, and then we'll go Ferris effect, pitching Adusted Gold, we'll activate Ferris, placing the increase, tribute, summon itself out, effect, summon out the Vion. Vion's effect will dump Denier, because you've already gone through every copy of Malicious. Then we can use Vion's effect to banish out the Adusted Gold, because we have 2 copies in our grave, to search Poly. Can link these 2 monsters up into Infernal's effect, search out Neos, and this should be a pretty common setup for most hero players. We'll Poly fuse those 2, effect of Infernal Rage. One small tip I'll just throw out there here is if you actually open Favorite Contact and you open Evil Assault, actually Favorite Contact's a great discard because Infernal Rage can add back from graveyard. Just a little helpful tip there. We can go Infernal Rage's effect to summon out the Sunrise. Sunrise's effect can add the Miracle Fusion. Next, we can link away these 2 into Wonder Driver. Can activate Denier's effect, summoning itself out. And we'll go Chainlink 2 Denier, Chainlink 1 Wonder Driver, targeting Polymerization to put the Malicious back on the top of deck and reset Poly. Then we can banish out Malicious, summon out a copy, and then we can use Polymerization, fuse these 2 into DPE. Then we can go Miracle, banishing the Neos and the Infernal Rage, because we're going to put them back anyway, most likely, to summon out Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, set the trap, and then we can go to the end of the main phase, check for Nib. Then we can go end phase, effects, here. Chainlink 1, Wake Up, because he's mandatory. Chainlink 2, DPE. Then we can summon out Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist effect, search out Mass Change, and still during the end phase, we can Mass Change the Shadow Mist out into Dark Law, and then of course next standby phase, DPE will resolve, and then Wonder Driver's effect, you can target the Miracle Fusion and reset it. And that is the main reason why I believe more Dusted Golds are better, and the second Wonder Driver is mandatory because it lets us get to our full combo with just Evil Assault in any hero discard. Now, one of my favorite parts about the new support is before Suda, a hero lives by itself, we had to make a choice on what we wanted to end on. Either we had to go the Dark Law route, or we had to go to the favorite contact route. If you watch my Hero Lives combos, you should know. But actually now, post Suda, a hero lives by itself is our full board that we were doing before. And not only if you have a blank discard, but even if you draw increase and you only play one. So I'll show you this combo, and we're gonna go under the assumption we're only playing one increase. So we're gonna go a hero lives to start out, paying half our life to summon out the tried and true Stratos from our deck. Stratos effect here, we'll search out the Adusted Gold, and then we can use the Adusted Gold to search Evil Assault. Next, we can go Evil Assault, discarding any card in our hand, even if it's increase, to summon out Dead End Prison. We can use Dead End Prison's effect, dumping Malicious. Then we can use Malicious's effect to summon out a copy. And then we can link these two monsters off into our first copy of Wonder Driver. So this combo, if you want to do it this way, also requires you to play the two Wonder Driver, which again is why I think it's so mandatory. Then you can banish Malicious to summon out the last copy. And then we can link two Warrior monsters up into Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader's effect, we'll target Malicious, we'll summon out, then we can tribute off the Cross Crusader to add any hero monster with a different name, which will add Vion. Now, since we haven't used our normal summon, we can normal summon Vion, and then Vion will dump Denier. Then we can use Vion's effect. We can banish the Wonder Driver, because we're going to set up a second copy, and we'll add Polymerization. Next, still super important to leave the Stratos on board as our other fusion material for the Infernal Rage. We can link these two into Infernal Devicer, and then Infernal Devicer will add Neos. Then we can activate Polymerization, fusing the Stratos and the Neos into the Flame Wingman, which then Flame Wingman will activate, searching the trap, and then we can use Infernal Rage's effect, tributing off, summoning out the Sunrise, and then Sunrise's effect will search out Miracle Fusion. We can use Denier's effect Engrave to summon itself out, and effective Denier, putting the Malicious on top of deck, and then we can link these two to our second copy of Wonder Driver, banishing Malicious to summon out our last copy, and then activate the effect of Wonder Driver, targeting Polymerization to reset it. We can then go Polymerization, fusing the Malicious and the Sunrise into DPE. Then we can go Miracle Fusion, banishing the Infernal Rage and the Neos. Summon out Wake Up. We can set our favorite contact, and then we can go like we always do, go to the end phase, and then we can trigger DPE, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, summon out Shadow Mist, grab the Mass Change, summon out Dark Law, and then next standby phase, DPE will come out, and then Wonder Driver will trigger, targeting Miracle Fusion to reset it. So yeah, that's the full board with just a hero lives, any discard, and that discard can even be the one increase. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, and I hope this was helpful as another hero combo video, but with actual physical cards, and I know people really enjoy that. So yeah, if there's any other combos or any videos y'all like to see, just let me know down in the comments, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.